I've rewatched How I Met Your Mother enough times that I could probably recite Barney's playbook word for word. And after digging into what this entire cast is actually doing right now in 2026, I found something most fans have completely missed. The show wrapped in 2014, that's 12 years ago, and in that time this cast has gone in 6 completely different directions, some of them a lot more surprising than others. So in this video, I'm breaking down all 6 main cast members, comparing who they were back when the show ended to where they are today, and ranking them by how big their transformation actually is. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly who quietly reunited on screen without anyone realizing it, who became the richest member of the cast, who's about to become a first-time parent well into their 50s, and which then vs now story on this list is honestly wilder than anything the writers ever gave their character. Let's start with the guy the entire show is technically about. Ted Mosby, played by Josh Radnor, spent 9 seasons as the hopeless romantic looking for the one. Real quick, if you never watched the show, Ted was the narrator, the architect, the guy chasing the yellow umbrella for 9 straight years. Now here's the thing about Josh Radnor. After the show ended, he didn't chase another sitcom lead. He went almost completely the opposite direction, into indie film, music, and theater, and it's actually paid off in a way most people don't expect. Then vs Now rating. Fame then. Hi. He was the title narrator of a top 5 sitcom. Career now. Medium. Mostly theater and passion projects instead of mainstream leads. Glow up factor. I'd call this one high, not because he got more famous, but because a guy whose whole character was waiting for his life to start spent the last decade actually building a quiet, deliberate one. Now, if Ted's story feels a little low-key for you, the next person on this list took the complete opposite path. Allison Hannigan played Lily Aldrin, the group's grounded best friend and eventual mom of the crew. And here's a stat that surprises a lot of people. During the final seasons, she was reportedly the highest paid actor per episode on the entire show. Before HIMYM, she was already Willow Rosenberg on Buffy the Vampire Slayer for 6 years, plus Michelle in the American Pie franchise, which means Hannigan is genuinely one of the only people alive with 3 separate long-running syndication paychecks stacked on top of each other. After HIMYM wrapped, she didn't disappear, she just moved off camera. She spent 7 years hosting Penn and Teller, Fool Us, picked up voice work on the animated series Fancy Nancy, and in 2023 she competed on Dancing with the Stars, finishing 5th with her partner Sasha Farber. She's been married to Alexis Denisof, who she met on the set of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, since 2003, and the two are raising 2 daughters together. Her estimated net worth in 2026 sits around $45 million, built almost entirely off residuals from 3 different hit shows instead of one big new project. Then vs Now rating. Fame then. High. Career now. Medium. She stepped back from acting leads into hosting and family life. Glow up factor. Medium. This isn't a dramatic reinvention, it's financial mastery. Hannigan basically played the syndication game better than almost anyone else on this list. But if you want to see an actual reinvention, this next one is where it gets interesting. Jason Segel played Marshall, the sweet, loyal lawyer who somehow made Get the Wood Glue a cultural moment. And for a while after HIMYM ended, Segel genuinely stepped back from the spotlight. Fewer leading roles, fewer headlines, and fans started to wonder if he was done chasing mainstream fame at all. Then came Shrinking. Segel co-created the Apple TV Plus dramedy, stars as therapist Jimmy Laird opposite Harrison Ford, and Season 3 premiered in January 2026, with a 4th season already greenlit before Season 3 even aired. For lead actor in a comedy series, he's been nominated in the same category as names like Steve Carell and Martin Short, which tells you exactly what tier this show is playing in now. He's even started showing off surprise musical theater chops on the show itself, trading verses with a co-star in a full Les Miserables duet that fans clipped and passed around online. His estimated net worth now sits at $50 million, and he's engaged to Kayla Radomski. This isn't a comeback, it's arguably the best work of his entire career. Then vs Now rating. Fame then. Medium. Beloved but not the breakout star of the cast. Career now. High. Critically acclaimed. Awards nominated and a legitimate showrunner. Glow up factor. High. Segel basically proved that stepping away from the spotlight on purpose can set up the biggest chapter of your career. Now here's where this gets genuinely wild, because the next cast member's 2026 story connects directly to Segel's, and I don't think most fans have put this together yet. Kobe Smulders played Robin, the career-driven journalist who never quite fit the white picket fence mold. After HIMYM, she stepped straight into the Marvel Cinematic Universe as Maria Hill, appearing across multiple Avengers films, which arguably made her the most globally recognized face out of the entire cast. But here's the plot twist. In 2026, Smulders is also part of the shrinking cast, meaning 2 former How I Met Your Mother co-stars, who played a will-they-won't-they couple for 9 seasons, are now working together again on the same hit show over a decade later, and barely anyone talks about it. That's on top of continuing to show up in Marvel projects well after the Avengers, plus other TV leads like Stumptown and Friends from College in between. She was also just named the official Vancouver hospitality captain for the 2026 FIFA World Cup, and she's become increasingly vocal as a climate activist alongside her acting work. She's married to actor and comedian Taran Killam. They have 2 daughters, and her estimated net worth sits around $25 to $27 million. Then VS Now rating. Fame then, high. Career now, high. Marvel royalties plus a second hit streaming show. Glow up factor, medium to high. Less about reinvention and more about staying power. Smulders has been consistently working at a high level for over a decade straight. Quick pause. If you're into these Then VS Now breakdowns, subscribing genuinely helps this channel keep making them. It's free and takes 2 seconds. Now, back to the list, because the next one might be the most financially interesting cast member of the entire group. Neil Patrick Harris played Barney Stinson, and honestly, this role turned him into one of the most bankable personalities in entertainment. Suit up, legendary. You know the character even if you've never watched a single episode. Since HIMYM, Harris has barely slowed down. He already had a Tony Award for Hedwig and the Angry Inch, and years of hosting Tony and Emmy telecasts under his belt, and he just kept adding to the list. In 2026 alone, he's lending his voice to a new Disney Muppets-themed attraction, which had fans online half-joking that he's basically become the unofficial mayor of Disney World at this point. He's continuing to host and executive produce his Netflix guessing game show, What's in the Box, and he made an appearance at the Berlinale Film Festival. Earlier in the decade, he also hosted the kids' competition series Genius Junior. He's been married to David Burtka since 2014. They have 2 children, and his estimated net worth now sits at $50 million, tied for the highest on this entire list. Then versus Now rating. Fame then, high, arguably the breakout star of the ensemble. Career now, high, he's diversified into hosting, Broadway, voice work, and now theme park attractions. Glow up factor, medium. Harris didn't reinvent himself so much as he just kept expanding in every direction at once. Now, this last one is the one I'm personally most excited about on this entire list, because out of all 6 cast members, this is the story with the biggest ceiling. Kristen Milioti wasn't a series regular for 9 seasons like the others. She showed up as Tracy McConnell, the mother, mainly in the final season, after years of fans wondering who she'd even be. And here's why this is such a big deal. Out of every actor on this list, Milioti had the least screen time on the original show, and she's arguably had the biggest career trajectory since. And this wasn't out of nowhere. Before HIMYM, she'd already picked up a Tony nomination and a Grammy for her stage work in Once. And after HIMYM, she kept stacking credits nobody outside theater kids really noticed at the time. Roles in The Wolf of Wall Street, Palm Springs, and Made for Love among them. Then in 2024, she starred as Sophia Falcone in HBO's The Penguin, which earned her a Golden Globe nomination and put her firmly in the DC Universe conversation. She's also had a recurring role in Black Mirror, voice work on the animated series The Simpsons and Bob's Burgers, and a role in a 2026 animated feature. Her estimated net worth is smaller than the rest of the cast, somewhere around $4 to $5 million, which honestly says more about how differently actors get paid on ensemble shows versus limited screen time than it does about her career trajectory. Then versus Now rating. Fame then, low. She was a mystery reveal, not a main cast member for most of the run. Career now, high, award-nominated prestige TV roles back-to-back. Glow-up factor, highest on this entire list. Milioti went from the character everyone waited 9 seasons to meet to arguably the most critically respected actor to come out of this show. So there you have it. 6 cast members, 6 completely different 2026 stories. Ted went quiet and deliberate. Lily mastered the long game and turned 3 separate shows into one long payday. Marshall had the biggest reinvention of anyone on this list. Robin and Marshall are secretly working together again on the same show over a decade later. Barney just kept expanding in every direction at once until he ended up voicing a Disney ride. And the mother, who had the least screen time of anyone in the original show, ended up with arguably the biggest post-show career of the entire cast. And that's honestly what makes this cast so interesting to look back on. The show ended in 2014, assuming we knew exactly how everyone's story wrapped up. And 12 years later, almost none of these actors' real lives went the direction you'd have guessed from watching their character. If you had to guess which one of these 6 had the wildest 2026 before watching this video, I'd bet it wasn't the one you expected going in. Thanks for watching.